abaft, abandoned, abashed, abdominal, aberrant, abhorrent, abiding, abject, ablaze, able, abnormal, aboard, aboriginal, abortive, abounding, abrasive, abrupt, absent, absent-minded, absolute, absorbed, absorbing, abstracted, absurd, abundant, abusive, abysmal, academic, acceptable, accepting, accessible, accidental, acclaimed, acclimated, accommodating, accompanying, accomplished, accountable, accurate, accusative, accused, accusing, acerbic, achievable, aching, acid, acidic, acknowledged, acoustic, acquired, acrid, acrimonious, acrobatic, actionable, active, actual, actually, ad hoc, adamant, adaptable, adaptive, addicted, addicting, addictive, additional, adapt, adequate, adherent, adhesive, adjacent, adjoining, adjustable, administrative, admirable, admired, admiring, adolescent, adopted, adoptive, adorable, adored, adoring, adrenalized, adroit, adult, advanced, advantageous, adventurous, adversarial, advisable, aerial, affable, affected, affectionate, affirmative, affordable, afraid, afternoon, aged, ageless, aggravated, aggravating, aggressive, agile, agitated, agonizing, agrarian, agreeable, aimless, airline, airsick, airy, ajar, alarmed, alarming, alert, algebraic, alien, alienated, alike, alive, all, alleged, allied, allowable, alluring, elusive, almighty, alone, aloof, alterable, alternating, alternative, amazed, amazing, ambidextrous, ambiguous, ambitious, ambulant, ambulatory, amiable, amicable, amphibian, ample, amused, amusing, anabolic, analytical, ancient, anecdotal, anemic, angelic, angered, angry, anguished, angular, animal, animated, annoyed, annoying, annual, anonymous, another, antagonistic, anticipated, anticlimactic, anticorrosive, antiquated, antiseptic, antisocial, antsy, anxious, any, apathetic, apologetic, apologizing, appalling, apparent, appealing, appetizing, applauding, applicable, applicative, appreciated, appreciative, apprehensive, approachable, approaching, appropriate, approving, approximate, apt, aquatic, architectural, ardent, arduous, arguable, argumentative, arid, aristocratic, aromatic, arresting, arrogant, artful, artificial, artistic, artless, ashamed, aspiring, assertive, assignable, assorted, assumable, assured, assuring, astonished, astonishing, astounded, astounding, astringent, astronomical, astute, asymmetrical, athletic, atomic, atrocious, attachable, attainable, attentive, attractive, attributable, atypical, audacious, auspicious, authentic, authoritarian, authoritative, autobiographic, autographed, automatic, autonomous, available, avant, avant, avaricious, avenging, average, avian, avid, avoidable, awake, awakening, aware, away, awesome, awful, awkward, axiomatic, babbling, baby, back, background, backhanded, bacterial, bad, baffled, baffling, balanced, bald, balding, balmy, bandaged, banging, bankable, band, bantering, barbaric, barbarous, barbecued, barefooted, barking, barren, bashful, basic, battered, batty, body, bawling, beady, beaming, bearable, beautiful, beckoning, bedazzled, bedazzling, beefy, beeping, befitting, befuddled, beginning, bejeweled, belated, belching, believable, bellicose, belligerent, bellowing, beloved, bendable, beneficial, benevolent, benign, bent, berserk, best, betrayed, better, better off, bewildered, bewildering, bewitched, bewitching, biased, biblical, big, big, bigger, biggest, big heart, bigoted, bilingual, billable, billowy, binary, binding, bioactive, biodegradable, biographical, bite, biting, bitter, bizarre, black, blamable, blameless, bland, blank, blaring, blasé, blasphemous, blatant, blazing, bleached, bleak, bleary, blessed, blind, blindfolded, blinding, blissful, blistering, bloated, blocked, blonde, blonde, blood, blood, bloodied, bloodshot, bloodthirsty, bloody, blooming, blossoming, blotchy, blue, blue, blundering, blunt, blurred, blurry, blushing, boastful, bodacious, bogus, bohemian, boiling, boisterous, bold, bookish, booming, boorish, bordering, bored, boring, born, bossy, both, bothered, bothersome, bouncing, bouncy, boundless, bountiful, vowed, boyish, braided, brainless, brainy, brash, brassy, brave, brawny, brazen, breakable, breathable, breathless, breathtaking, breezy, bribable, brick, brief, bright, bright, brilliant, briny, brisk, bristly, broad, broken, broken, bronchial, bronze, bronzed, brooding, brotherly, brown, bruised, brunette, brutal, brutish, bubbling, bubbly, buckled, budding, budget, buff, bug, built, bulky, bull, bumpy, bungling, buoyant, burdensome, bureaucratic, burly, burnable, burning, bursting, bushy, busiest, business, busted, bustling, busy, buzzing, cackling, caged, cagey, Cajun, calculable, calculated, calculating, callous, calm, calming, camouflaged, cancelled, cancerous, candid, cantankerous, capable, capricious, captivated, captivating, captive, carefree, careful, careless, caring, carnivorous, carpeted, carsick, casual, catastrophic, catatonic, catchable, caustic, cautious, cavalier, cavernous, ceaseless, celebrated, celestial, censored, centered, central, cerebral, ceremonial, certain, certifiable, certified, challenged, challenging, chance, changeable, changing, chanting, charging, charismatic, charitable, charmed, charming, chattering, chatting, chatty, chauvinistic, cheap, cheapest, cheeky, cheerful, cheering, cheerless, cheery, chemical, chewable, chewy, chic, chicken, chief, childish, childlike, chilling, chilly, chivalrous, choice, choking, choppy, chronological, chubby, chuckling, chunky, cinematic, circling, circular, circumstantial, civil, civilian, civilized, clammy, clamoring, clandestine, clanging, clapping, clashing, classic, classical, classifiable, classified, classy, clean, cleanable, clear, cleared, clear-eyed, clever, climatic, climbable, clinging, clingy, clinical, cliquage, clogged, cloistered, close, closable, closed, cloudless, cloudy, clownish, clueless, clumsy, cluttered, coachable, coarse, cockamamie, cocky, codified, coercive, cognitive, coherent, cohesive, coincidental, cold, cold-hearted, collaborative, collapsed, collapsing, collectible, collegial, colloquial, colonial, colorful, colorless, colossal, combative, combined, comfortable, comforted, comforting, comic, comical, commanding, commemorative, commendable, commercial, committed, common, communal, communicable, communicative, communist, compact, comparable, comparative, compassionate, compelling, competent, competitive, complacent, complaining, complete, completed, complex, compliant, complicated, complementary, composed, compound, comprehensive, compulsive, compulsory, computer, computerized, concealable, concealed, conceited, conceivable, concerned, concerning, concerted, concise, concrete, concurrent, condemned, condensed, condescending, conditional, confident, confidential, confirmable, confirmed, conflicted, conflicting, conformable, confounded, confused, confusing, congenial, congested, congressional, congruent, congruous, connectable, connected, connecting, connective, conscientious, conscious, consecutive, consensual, consenting, conservative, considerable, considerate, consistent, consoling, conspicuous, conspiratorial, constant, constitutional, constrictive, constructive, consumable, consummate, contagious, containable, contemplative, contemporary, contemptible, contemptuous, content, contented, contentious, contextual, continual, continuing, continuous, contoured, contractual, contradicting, contradictory, contrarian, contrary, contributive, contrite, controllable, controlling, controversial, convenient, conventional, conversational, convinced, convincing, convoluted, convulsive, cooing, cooked, cool, coolest, cooperative, coordinated, copious, coquettish, cordial, corner, cornered, corny, corporate, corpulent, correct, correctable, corrective, corresponding, corrosive, corrupt, corrupting, corruptive, cosmetic, cosmic, costly, cottony, coughing, courageous, courteous, covert, coveted, cowardly, cowering, coy, cozy, crabby, cracked, crackling, crafty, craggy, crammed, cramped, cranky, crashing, crass, craven, crawling, crazy, creaking, creaky, creamy, creative, credible, creeping, creepy, crestfallen, criminal, crippled, crippling, crisp, crispy, critical, crooked, cropped, cross, crossed, crotchety, crowded, crucial, crude, cruel, crumbling, crumbly, crumply, crunchable, crunching, crunchy, crushable, crushed, crusty, crying, cryptic, crystalline, crystallized, cuddly, culpable, cultural, cultured, cumbersome, cumulative, cunning, curable, curative, curious, curly, current, cursed, curt, curved, curvy, customary, cut, cute, cutting, cylindrical, cynical, daffy, deft, daily, dainty, damaged, damaging, damp, danceable, dandy, dangerous, dapper, daring, dark, darkened, dashing, daughterly, daunting, dawdling, day, dazed, dazzling, dead, deadly, deadpan, deaf, deafening, dear, debatable, debonair, decadent, decayed, decaying, deceitful, deceivable, deceiving, decent, decentralized, deceptive, decimated, decipherable, decisive, declining, decorated, decorative, decorous, decreasing, decrepit, dedicated, deep, deepening, deeply, defeated, defective, defendable, defenseless, defensible, defensive, defiant, deficient, definable, definite, definitive, deformed, degenerative, degraded, dehydrated, dejected, delectable, deliberate, deliberative, delicate, delicious, delighted, delightful, delinquent, delirious, deliverable, deluded, demanding, demented, democratic, demonic, demonstrative, demure, deniable, dense, dependable, dependent, deplorable, deploring, depraved, depressed, depressing, depressive, deprived, deranged, derivative, derogative, derogatory, descriptive, deserted, designer, desirable, desirous, desolate, despairing, desperate, despicable, despised, despondent, destroyed, destructive, detachable, detached, detailed, detectable, determined, detestable, detrimental, devastated, devastating, devilish, devious, devoted, devout, dexterous, diabolical, diagonal, didactic, different, difficult, diffuse, digestive, digital, dignified, digressive, dilapidated, diligent, dim, diminishing, diminutive, dingy, diplomatic, dire, direct, direful, dirty, disabled, disadvantaged, disadvantageous, disaffected, disagreeable, disappearing, disappointed, disappointing, disapproving, disarming, disastrous, discarded, discernible, disciplined, disconnected, discontented, discordant, discouraged, discouraging, discourteous, discredited, discreet, discriminating, discriminatory, discussable, disdainful, diseased, disenchanted, disgraceful, disgruntled, disgusted, disgusting, disheartened, disheartening, dishonest, dishonorable, disillusioned, disinclined, disingenuous, disinterested, disjointed, dislikable, disliked, disloyal, dismal, dismissive, disobedient, disorderly, disorganized, disparaging, disparate, dispassionate, dispensable, displaced, displeased, displeasing, disposable, disproportionate, disproved, disputable, disputatious, disputed, disreputable, disrespectful, disruptive, dissatisfied, dissimilar, dissolvable, dissolving, dissonant, dissuasive, distant, distasteful, distinct, distinctive, distinguished, distracted, distracting, distraught, distressed, distressing, distrustful, disturbed, disturbing, divergent, diverging, diverse, diversified, divided, divine, divisive, dizzy, dizzying, doable, documentary, dogged, doggish, dogmatic, doleful, dollish, domed, domestic, dominant, domineering, dorsal, doting, double, doubtful, doubting, dovish, dowdy, down, downhearted, downloadable, downtown, downward, dozing, drab, drained, dramatic, drastic, dreaded, dreadful, dreaming, dreamy, dreary, drenched, dress, dressy, dried, dripping, drivable, driven, droll, drooping, droopy, drowsy, drunk, dry, dual, dubious, due, dulcet, dull, duplicitous, durable, dusty, dutiful, dwarfish, dwindling, dynamic, dysfunctional, each, eager, ear, early, earnest, ear-splitting, earth-shaking, earthy, east, eastern, easy, eatable, eccentric, echoing, ecological, economic, economical, economy, ecstatic, edgy, editable, educated, educational, eerie, effective, effervescent, efficacious, efficient, effortless, effusive, egalitarian, egocentric, egomaniacal, egotistical, eighth, either, elaborate, elastic, elated, elderly, electric, electrical, electrifying, electronic, elegant, elementary, elevated, elfin, elfish, eligible, elite, eloquent, elusive, emaciated, embarrassed, embarrassing, embattled, embittered, emblematic, emboldened, embroiled, emergency, eminent, emotional, emotionless, empirical, empty, enamored, enchanted, enchanting, encouraged, encouraging, encrusted, endangered, endearing, endemic, endless, endurable, enduring, energetic, energizing, enforceable, engaged, engaging, engrossing, enhanced, enigmatic, enjoyable, enlarged, enlightened, enormous, enough, enraged, ensuing, enterprising, entertained, entertaining, enthralled, enthused, enthusiastic, enticing, entire, entranced, entrepreneurial, innumerable, enviable, envious, environmental, episodic, equable, equal, equidistant, equitable, equivalent, erasable, erect, eroding, errant, erratic, erroneous, eruptive, escalating, esoteric, essential, established, esteemed, estimated, estranged, eternal, ethereal, ethical, ethnic, euphemistic, euphoric, evasive, even, even-handed, evening, eventful, eventual, everlasting, every, evil, evocative, exacerbating, exact, exacting, exaggerated, exalted, exasperated, exasperating, excellent, exceptional, excessive, exchangeable, excitable, excited, exciting, exclusive, excruciating, excusable, executable, exemplary, exhausted, exhausting, exhaustive, exhilarated, exhilarating, existing, exotic, expandable, expanded, expanding, expansive, expectant, expected, expedient, expeditious, expendable, expensive, experienced, experimental, expert, expired, expiring, explainable, explicit, exploding, exploitative, exploited, explosive, exponential, exposed, express, expressionistic, expressionless, expressive, exquisite, extemporaneous, extendable, extended, extension, extensive, exterior, external, extra, extraneous, extraordinary, extravagant, extreme, exuberant, fabled, fabulous, facetious, facial, factitious, factual, faded, fading, failed, faint, faint-hearted, fair, faithful, faithless, fallacious, falsified, faltering, familiar, famished, famous, fanatical, fanciful, fancy, fantastic, far, far away, farcical, farsighted, fascinated, fascinating, fascistic, fashionable, fast, fastest, fastidious, fat, fatal, fateful, fatherly, fathomable, fathomless, fatigued, faultless, faulty, favorable, favorite, funning, feared, fearful, fearless, fearsome, feathered, feathery, feckless, federal, feeble, feeble-minded, feeling, feigned, feisty, feline, felonious, female, feminine, fermented, ferocious, fertile, fervent, fervid, festive, fetching, fetid, feudal, feverish, few, fewer, fictional, fictitious, fidgeting, fidgety, fiendish, fierce, fiery, fifth, filmy, filtered, filthy, final, financial, fine, finicky, finished, finite, fireproof, firm, first, fiscal, fishy, fit, fitted, fitting, 5, fixable, fixed, flabby, flagrant, flaky, flamboyant, flaming, flammable, flashy, flat, flattened, flattered, flattering, flavored, flavorful, flavorless, flawed, flawless, fleeting, flexible, flickering, flimsy, flippant, flirtatious, floating, flooded, floppy, floral, flowering, flowery, fluent, fluffy, fluid, flushed, fluttering, flying, foamy, focused, foggy, folded, following, fond, foolhardy, foolish, forbidding, forceful, foreboding, foregoing, foreign, forensic, foreseeable, forged, forgetful, forgettable, forgivable, forgiving, forgotten, forked, formal, formative, former, formidable, formless, formulaic, forsaken, forthright, fortuitous, fortunate, forward, foul, fourth, foxy, fractional, fractious, fragile, fragmented, fragrant, frail, frank, frantic, fraternal, fraudulent, frayed, freakish, freaky, freckled, free, freezing, frequent, fresh, fretful, fried, friendly, frightened, frightening, frightful, frigid, frilly, frisky, frivolous, frizzy, front, frosty, frothy, frowning, frozen, frugal, fruitful, fruitless, fruity, frumpy, frustrated, frustrating, fulfilled, fulfilling, full, fully, fumbling, fuming, fun, functional, fundamental, funniest, funny, furious, furry, furthest, furtive, fussy, feudal, future, futuristic, fuzzy, gabby, gainful, gallant, galling, game, gamey, gangly, gaping, garbled, gargantuan, garish, garrulous, gaseous, gasping, gathered, gaudy, gaunt, gauzy, gawky, general, generative, generic, generous, genial, gentle, genuine, geographic, geologic, geometric, geriatric, ghastly, ghostly, ghoulish, giant, giddy, gifted, gigantic, giggling, gilded, giving, glad, glamorous, glaring, glass, glassy, gleaming, gleeful, glib, glimmering, glistening, glittering, global, globular, gloomy, glorious, glossy, glowing, gluey, glum, gluttonous, gnarly, godly, gold, golden, good, gooey, goofy, gorgeous, graceful, gracious, gradual, grainy, grand, grandiose, graphic, grateful, gratified, gratifying, grating, gratis, gratuitous, grave, gray, greasy, great, greatest, greedy, green, gregarious, gray, grieving, grim, grimacing, grimy, grinding, grinning, gripping, gritty, grizzled, groaning, groggy, groomed, groovy, gross, grotesque, grouchy, growing, growling, grown, grubby, grueling, gruesome, gruff, grumbling, grumpy, guaranteed, guarded, guilt, guiltless, guilty, gullible, gurgling, gushing, gushy, gusty, gutsy, habitable, habitual, haggard, hairless, hairy, half, half-hearted, hallowed, halting, handsome, handsomely, handy, hanging, haphazard, hapless, happy, hard, hardworking, hardy, harebrained, harmful, harmless, harmonic, harmonious, harried, harsh, hasty, hated, hateful, haughty, haunting, hawkish, hazardous, hazy, head, heady, healthy, heartbreaking, heartbroken, heartfelt, heartless, heartrending, hearty, heated, heavenly, heavy, hectic, hefty, heinous, hellish, helpful, helpless, her, heroic, hesitant, hideous, high, highest, highfalutin, hilarious, his, hissing, historical, horse, hoggish, holiday, holistic, hollow, home, homeless, homely, homeopathic, homey, homogeneous, honest, honking, honorable, hopeful, hopeless, horizontal, hormonal, horned, horrendous, horrible, horrid, horrific, horrified, horrifying, hospitable, hostile, hot, hot pink, hot-headed, hour, house, howling, huffy, huge, huggable, hulking, human, humanitarian, human-like, humble, humdrum, humid, humiliated, humiliating, humming, humongous, humorless, humorous, hungry, hurried, hurt, hurtful, hushed, husky, hydraulic, hydrothermal, hygienic, hyper, hyperbolic, hypercritical, hyperirritable, hypersensitive, hypertensive, hypnotic, hypnotizable, hypothetical, hysterical, icky, iconoclastic, icy, ideal, idealistic, identical, identifiable, idiosyncratic, idiotic, idle, idyllic, ignorable, ignorant, ill, illegal, illegible, illegitimate, illicit, illiterate, illogical, illuminating, elusive, illustrious, imaginable, imaginary, imaginative, imitative, immaculate, imminent, immature, immeasurable, immediate, immense, immeasurable, imminent, immobile, immodest, immoral, immortal, immovable, impartial, impassible, impassioned, impassive, impatient, impeccable, impenetrable, imperative, imperceptible, imperceptive, imperfect, imperial, imperialistic, impermeable, impersonal, impertinent, impervious, impetuous, impish, implausible, implicit, implosive, impolite, imponderable, important, imported, imposing, impossible, impoverished, impractical, imprecise, impressionable, impressive, improbable, improper, improvable, improved, improving, imprudent, impulsive, impure, inaccessible, inaccurate, inactive, inadequate, inadmissible, inadvertent, inadvisable, inalienable, inalterable, inane, inanimate, inapplicable, inappropriate, inapt, inarguable, inarticulate, inartistic, inattentive, inaudible, inauspicious, incalculable, incandescent, incapable, incessant, incidental, inclusive, incoherent, incomparable, incompatible, incompetent, incomplete, incomprehensible, inconceivable, inconclusive, incongruent, incongruous, inconsequential, inconsiderable, inconsiderate, inconsistent, inconsolable, inconspicuous, incontrovertible, inconvenient, incorrect, incorrigible, incorruptible, increasing, incredible, incredulous, incremental, incurable, indebted, indecent, indecipherable, indecisive, indefensible, indefinable, indefinite, indelible, independent, indescribable, indestructible, indeterminable, indeterminate, indicative, indifferent, indigenous, indignant, indirect, indiscreet, indiscriminate, indispensable, indisputable, indistinct, individual, individualistic, indivisible, indomitable, inductive, indulgent, industrial, industrious, ineffective, ineffectual, inefficient, inelegant, ineloquent, inept, inequitable, inert, inescapable, inevitable, inexact, inexcusable, inexhaustible, inexpedient, inexpensive, inexplicable, inexpressible, inexpressive, inextricable, infallible, infamous, infantile, infatuated, infected, infectious, inferable, inferior, infernal, infinite, infinitesimal, inflamed, inflammable, inflammatory, inflatable, inflated, inflexible, influential, informal, informative, informed, infrequent, infuriated, infuriating, ingenious, ingenuous, inglorious, ingratiating, inhabitable, inharmonious, inherent, inhibited, inhospitable, inhuman, inhumane, initial, injudicious, injured, injurious, innate, inner, innocent, innocuous, innovative, innumerable, inoffensive, inoperable, inoperative, inopportune, inordinate, inorganic, inquiring, inquisitive, insane, insatiable, inscrutable, insecure, insensible, insensitive, inseparable, inside, insidious, insightful, insignificant, insincere, insipid, insistent, insolent, inspirational, inspired, inspiring, instant, instantaneous, instinctive, instinctual, institutional, instructive, instrumental, insubordinate, insufferable, insufficient, insulted, insulting, insurable, insurmountable, intangible, integral, intellectual, intelligent, intelligible, intended, intense, intensive, intent, intentional, interactive, interchangeable, interdepartmental, interdependent, interested, interesting, interior, intermediate, intermittent, internal, international, interpersonal, interracial, intestinal, intimate, intimidating, intolerable, intolerant, intravenous, intrepid, intricate, intrigued, intriguing, intrinsic, introductory, introspective, introverted, intrusive, intuitive, invalid, invaluable, invasive, inventive, invigorating, invincible, invisible, invited, inviting, involuntary, involved, inward, irascible, irate, iridescent, irksome, iron, ironclad, ironic, irrational, irreconcilable, irrefutable, irregular, irrelative, irrelevant, irremovable, irreparable, irreplaceable, irrepressible, irresistible, irresolute, irresponsible, irretrievably, irreverent, irreversible, irrevocable, irritable, irritated, irritating, isolated, itchy, its, itty, jabbering, jaded, jagged, jarring, jaundiced, jazzy, jealous, jeering, jerky, jiggling, jittery, jobless, jocular, joint, jolly, jovial, joyful, joyless, joyous, jubilant, judgmental, judicious, juicy, jumbled, jumpy, junior, just, justifiable, juvenile, caput, keen, key, kind, kind-hearted, kindly, kinesthetic, kingly, kitchen, klutzy, knavish, nightly, knobbed, knobby, naughty, knowable, knowing, knowledgeable, known, kooky, kosher, labored, laborious, lackadaisical, lacking, lacy, lame, lamentable, languid, languishing, lanky, larcenous, large, larger, largest, lascivious, last, lasting, late, latent, later, lateral, latest, ladder, laudable, laughable, laughing, lavish, lawful, lawless, lax, lazy, lead, leading, lean, learnable, learned, least, least, leather, leathery, lecherous, leering, left, legal, legendary, legible, legislative, legitimate, lengthy, lenient, less, lesser, lethal, lethargic, level, lewd, liable, libelous, liberal, licensed, life, lifeless, lifelike, lifelong, light, light-hearted, likable, like, likable, likely, lily, limber, limited, limitless, limp, limpid, limping, linear, lined, lingering, linguistic, liquid, listless, literal, literary, literate, lithe, lithographic, litigious, little, livable, live, lively, livid, living, loathsome, local, locatable, locked, lofty, logarithmic, logical, logistic, lonely, long, long-term, longer, longest, longing, loose, lopsided, loquacious, lordly, lost, loud, lousy, loudish, lovable, lovable, lovely, loving, low, lower, lowly, loyal, lucent, lucid, lucky, lucrative, ludicrous, lukewarm, lulling, luminescent, luminous, lumpy, lurid, luscious, lush, lustrous, luxuriant, luxurious, lying, lyrical, macabre, Machiavellian, macho, mad, maddening, made, madly, magenta, magic, magical, magnanimous, magnetic, magnificent, maiden, main, maintainable, majestic, major, makeable, makeshift, maladjusted, male, malevolent, malicious, malignant, malleable, mammoth, man, manageable, managerial, mandatory, maneuverable, mangy, maniacal, manic, manicured, manipulative, mannered, mannerly, manual, many, marbled, marginal, marked, marketable, married, marvelous, masculine, masked, massive, master, masterful, matchless, material, materialistic, maternal, mathematical, matronly, matted, mature, maximum, meager, mean, meandering, meaningful, meaningless, measly, measurable, meat, meaty, mechanical, medical, medicinal, mediocre, meditative, medium, meek, melancholic, melancholy, mellow, melodic, melodious, melodramatic, melted, memorable, menacing, menial, mental, merciful, merciless, mercurial, mere, merry, messy, metabolic, metallic, metaphoric, meteoric, meticulous, microscopic, microwavable, middle, midweek, mighty, mild, militant, militaristic, military, milky, mincing, mind, mindful, mindless, mini, miniature, minimal, minimum, minor, minty, minute, miraculous, mirthful, miscellaneous, mischievous, miscreant, miserable, miserly, misguided, misleading, mission, mistaken, mistrustful, mistrusting, misty, mixed, mnemonic, moaning, mobile, mocking, moderate, modern, modest, modified, modular, moist, moldy, momentary, momentous, monetary, money, monopolistic, monosyllabic, monotone, monotonous, monstrous, monthly, monumental, moody, moral, moralistic, morbid, mordant, more, moronic, morose, mortal, mortified, most, mother, motherly, motionless, motivated, motivating, motivational, motor, mountain, mountainous, mournful, mouth-watering, movable, moved, moving, much, muddled, muddy, muffled, muggy, multicolored, multicultural, multifaceted, multipurpose, multi-talented, mumbled, mundane, municipal, murky, muscular, mushy, musical, musky, musty, mutative, mute, muted, mutinous, muttering, mutual, myopic, mysterious, mystic, mystical, mystified, mystifying, mythical, naive, nameless, nappy, narcissistic, narrow, nasal, nasty, national, native, natural, naughty, nauseating, nauseous, nautical, navigable, navy, near, nearby, nearest, nearsighted, neat, nebulous, necessary, needless, needy, nefarious, negative, neglected, neglectful, negligent, negligible, negotiable, neighborly, neither, nerve, nervous, neurological, neurotic, neutral, new, newest, next, nice, nifty, nightmarish, nimble, nine, ninth, nippy, no, noble, nocturnal, noiseless, noisy, nominal, non-abrasive, non-aggressive, nonchalant, non-committal, non-competitive, non-consecutive, nondescript, non-destructive, non-exclusive, non-negotiable, non-productive, non-refundable, non-renewable, non-responsive, non-restrictive, non-returnable, nonsensical, non-specific, non-stop, non-transferable, non-verbal, non-violent, normal, north, northeast, northerly, northwest, nostalgic, nosy, notable, noted, noteworthy, noticeable, notorious, novel, noxious, null, numb, numberless, numbing, numerable, numeric, numerous, nutritional, nutritious, nutty, oafish, obedient, obeisant, obese, objectionable, objective, obligatory, obliging, oblique, oblivious, oblong, obnoxious, obscene, obscure, obsequious, observable, observant, obsessive, obsolete, obstinate, obstructive, obtainable, obtrusive, obtuse, obvious, occasional, occupational, occupied, oceanic, odd, odoriferous, odious, odorless, odorous, offbeat, offensive, offhand, official, officious, oily, okay, okay, old, old, older, oldest, ominous, omnipotent, omniscient, omnivorous, one, onerous, only, opaque, open, opened, open-handed, open-hearted, opening, operable, operatic, operational, operative, opinionated, opportune, opportunistic, opposable, opposed, opposing, opposite, oppressive, optimal, optimistic, optional, opulent, oral, orange, orderly, ordinary, organic, organizational, original, ornamental, ornate, ornery, orphaned, orthopedic, ossified, ostentatious, other, otherwise, our, outer, outermost, outgoing, outlandish, outraged, outrageous, outside, outspoken, outstanding, outward, oval, overactive, overaggressive, overall, overambitious, overassertive, overbearing, overcast, overcautious, overconfident, overcooked, overcritical, overcrowded, overdue, overemotional, overenthusiastic, overjoyed, overlooked, overoptimistic, overpowering, overpriced, overprotective, overqualified, overrated, oversensitive, oversized, overt, overwhelmed, overwhelming, overworked, overwrought, overzealous, own, oxymoronic, padded, painful, painless, painstaking, palatable, palatial, pale, pallid, palpable, paltry, pampered, panicky, panoramic, paradoxical, parallel, paranormal, parasitic, parched, pardonable, parental, parenthetic, parking, parsimonious, part, partial, particular, partisan, party, passing, passionate, passive, past, pastel, pastoral, patched, patchy, patented, paternal, paternalistic, pathetic, pathological, patient, patriotic, patronizing, patterned, payable, peaceable, peaceful, peculiar, pedantic, pedestrian, peerless, peeved, peevish, penetrable, penetrating, penitent, pensive, peppery, perceivable, perceptible, perceptive, perceptual, peremptory, perennial, perfect, perfumed, perilous, period, periodic, peripheral, perishable, perky, permanent, permeable, permissible, permissive, pernicious, perpendicular, perpetual, perplexed, perplexing, persevering, persistent, personable, personal, persuasive, pert, pertinent, perturbed, perturbing, pervasive, perverse, pesky, pessimistic, petite, pettish, petty, petulant, pharmaceutical, phenomenal, philanthropic, philosophical, phobic, phonemic, phonetic, phony, phosphorescent, photographic, physical, physiological, picturesque, piercing, pig-headed, pink, pious, piquant, pitch, piteous, pithy, pitiful, pitiless, pivotal, placid, plaid, plain, plain, planned, plastic, platonic, plausible, playful, pleading, pleasant, pleased, pleasing, pleasurable, plentiful, pliable, plodding, plopping, plucky, plump, pluralistic, plus, plush, pneumatic, poetic, poignant, pointed, pointless, poised, poisonous, polished, polite, political, polka, polluted, polyunsaturated, pompous, ponderous, poor, poorer, poorest, popping, popular, populous, porous, portable, portly, positive, possessive, possible, post hoc, posthumous, postoperative, potable, potent, potential, powdery, powerful, powerless, practical, pragmatic, praiseworthy, precarious, precious, precipitous, precise, precocious, preconceived, predicative, predictable, predisposed, predominant, preeminent, preemptive, prefabricated, preferable, preferential, pregnant, prehistoric, prejudiced, prejudicial, preliminary, premature, premeditated, premium, prenatal, preoccupied, preoperative, preparative, prepared, preposterous, prescriptive, present, presentable, presidential, pressing, pressurized, prestigious, presumable, presumptive, presumptuous, pretend, pretentious, pretty, prevalent, preventable, preventative, preventive, previous, priceless, pricey, prickly, prim, primary, prime, primitive, primordial, princely, principal, principled, prior, prissy, pristine, private, prize, prized, proactive, probabilistic, probable, problematic, procedural, prodigious, productive, profane, professed, professional, professorial, proficient, profitable, profound, profuse, programmable, progressive, prohibitive, prolific, prominent, promised, promising, prompt, pronounceable, pronounced, proof, proper, prophetic, proportional, proportionate, proportioned, prospective, prosperous, protective, prototypical, proud, proverbial, provisional, provocative, provoking, proximal, proximate, prudent, prudential, prudish, prying, psychedelic, psychiatric, psychological, psychosomatic, psychotic, public, puckish, puffy, pugnacious, pumped, punctual, pungent, punishable, punitive, puny, pure, purified, puritanical, purple, purported, purposeful, purposeless, purring, pushy, pusillanimous, putrid, puzzled, puzzling, pyrotechnic, quack, quackish, quacky, quaint, qualified, qualitative, quality, quantifiable, quantitative, quarrelsome, quarterly, queasy, queenly, querulous, questionable, quick, quick, quickest, quiet, quintessential, quirky, quivering, quixotic, quizzical, quotable, rabid, racial, racist, radiant, radical, radioactive, ragged, raging, rainbow-colored, rainy, rakish, rambling, rambunctious, rampageous, rampant, rancid, rancorous, random, rank, rapid, rapturous, rare, rascally, rash, rasping, raspy, rational, ratty, ravenous, raving, ravishing, raw, razor, reactive, ready, real, realistic, reasonable, reassured, reassuring, rebel, rebellious, receding, recent, receptive, recessive, rechargeable, reciprocal, reckless, reclusive, recognizable, recognized, recondite, rectangular, rectifiable, recurrent, recyclable, red, reddish, redeemable, redolent, redundant, referential, refillable, reflecting, reflective, refractive, refreshing, refundable, refurbished, refutable, regal, regional, regretful, regrettable, regular, reigning, relatable, relative, relaxed, relaxing, relentless, relevant, reliable, relieved, religious, reluctant, remaining, remarkable, remedial, reminiscent, remorseful, remorseless, remote, removable, renegotiable, renewable, rented, reparable, repaired, repeatable, repeated, repentant, repetitious, repetitive, replaceable, replicable, reported, reprehensible, representative, repressive, reproachful, reproductive, republican, repugnant, repulsive, reputable, reputed, required, rescued, resealable, resentful, reserved, resident, residential, residual, resilient, resolute, resolvable, resonant, resounding, resourceful, respectable, respectful, respective, responsible, responsive, rested, restful, restless, restored, restrained, restrictive, retired, retroactive, retrogressive, retrospective, reusable, revamped, revealing, revengeful, revered, reverent, reverential, reverse, reversible, reviewable, reviled, revisable, revised, revocable, revolting, revolutionary, rewarding, rhetorical, rhythmic, rich, richer, richest, ridiculing, ridiculous, right, righteous, rightful, rigid, rigorous, ringed, ringing, riotous, ripe, rippling, risky, ritualistic, ritzy, riveting, roaring, roasted, robotic, robust, rocketing, roguish, romantic, roomy, rosy, rotating, rotten, rotting, rotund, rough, round, round table, rousing, routine, rowdy, royal, rubbery, ruddy, rude, rudimentary, rueful, rugged, ruined, ruinous, rumbling, rumpled, ruptured, rural, rusted, rustic, rustling, rusty, ruthless, rutted, sable, saccharine, sacred, sacrificial, sacrilegious, sad, saddened, safe, saintly, salacious, salient, salt, salted, salty, salvageable, salvaged, same, sanctimonious, sandy, sane, sanguine, sanitary, sappy, sarcastic, sardonic, sassy, satin, satiny, satiric, satirical, satisfactory, satisfied, satisfying, saucy, savage, savory, savvy, scalding, scaly, scandalous, scant, scanty, scarce, scared, scarred, scary, scathing, scattered, scenic, scented, scheduled, schematic, scholarly, scholastic, scientific, scintillating, scorching, scornful, scrabbled, scraggly, scrappy, scratched, scratchy, scrawny, screaming, screeching, scribbled, scriptural, scruffy, scrumptious, scrupulous, sculpted, sculptural, scummy, sealed, seamless, searching, searing, seasick, seasonable, seasonal, secluded, second, secondary, secret, secretive, secular, secure, secured, sedate, seditious, seductive, seedy, seeming, seemly, seething, seismic, select, selected, selective, self, 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 selfish, selfless, sellable, semiconscious, semi-official, semi-precious, semi-professional, senior, sensational, senseless, sensible, sensitive, sensual, sensuous, sentimental, separate, sequential, serendipitous, serene, serial, serious, serpentine, serrated, serviceable, seven, seventh, several, severe, shabbiest, shabby, shaded, shadowed, shadowy, shady, shaggy, shaky, shallow, shamefaced, shameful, shameless, shapeless, shapely, sharp, sharpened, shattered, shattering, sheepish, sheer, sheltered, shifty, shimmering, shining, shiny, shivering, shivery, shocked, shocking, shoddy, short, short, short-sighted, showy, shrewd, shrieking, shrill, shut, shy, sick, sickened, sickening, sickly, side, signed, significant, silent, silky, silly, silver, simian, similar, simple, simple-minded, simplified, simplistic, simultaneous, sincere, sinful, single, singular, sinister, sinuous, sisterly, six, sixth, sizable, sizzling, skeletal, skeptical, sketchy, skilled, skillful, skimpy, skin, skinny, skittish, sky, slanderous, slanted, slanting, sleek, sleeping, sleepless, sleepy, slender, slick, slight, slim, slimy, slippery, sloped, sloping, sloppy, slothful, slow, sluggish, slushy, sly, small, smaller, smallest, smarmy, smart, smarter, smartest, smashing, smeared, smelly, smiling, smoggy, smoked, smoky, smooth, smothering, smudged, smug, snapping, snappish, snappy, snarling, sneaky, snide, snippy, sniveling, snobbish, snoopy, snooty, snoring, snotty, snow, snug, snugly, soaked, soaking, soaking wet, soaring, sober, sociable, social, socialist, sociological, soft, soft-hearted, soggy, solar, soldierly, soul, solemn, solicitous, solid, solitary, somatic, somber, sum, sonic, sunly, soothed, soothing, sophisticated, sorted, sore, sorrowful, sorry, soulful, soulless, soundless, sour, south, southeasterly, southern, southwestern, spacious, Spanish, spare, sparing, sparkling, sparkly, sparse, spasmodic, spastic, spatial, spattered, special, specialist, specialized, specific, speckled, spectacular, spectral, speculative, speechless, speedy, spellbinding, spendthrift, spherical, spicy, spiffy, spiky, spinal, spineless, spiral, spiraled, spirited, spiritless, spiritual, spiteful, splashing, splashy, splattered, splendid, splintered, spoiled, spoken, spongy, spontaneous, spooky, sporadic, sporting, sportsmanly, spotless, spotted, spotty, springy, sprite, spry, spurious, squalid, squandered, square, squashed, squashy, squatting, squawking, squeaky, squealing, squeamish, squeezable, squiggly, squirming, squirrely, stable, stackable, stacked, staggering, stagnant, stayed, stained, stainless, stale, stench, standard, standing, standoffish, star, starched, starchy, stark, starry, startled, startling, starving, stately, static, statistical, statuesque, status, statutory, staunch, steadfast, steady, stealth, steaming, steamy, steel, steely, steep, stereophonic, stereotyped, stereotypical, sterile, stern, sticky, stiff, stifled, stifling, stigmatic, still, stilled, stilted, stimulating, stinging, stingy, stinking, stinky, stirring, stock, stocky, stodgy, stoic, stony, stormy, stout, straggly, straight, straightforward, strained, stranded, strange, strategic, streaked, street, strenuous, stressful, stretchy, strict, strident, striking, stringent, striped, strong, stronger, strongest, structural, stubborn, stubby, stuck, studied, studious, stuffed, stuffy, stumbling, stunned, stunning, stupendous, stupid, sturdy, stuttering, stylish, stylistic, suave, subconscious, subdued, subject, subjective, sublime, subliminal, submissive, subordinate, subsequent, subservient, substantial, substantiated, substitute, subterranean, subtitled, subtle, suburban, subversive, successful, successive, succinct, succulent, such, sudden, suffering, sufficient, sugary, suggestive, suitable, sulky, sullen, sumptuous, sunny, super, superabundant, superb, supercilious, superficial, superhuman, superior, superlative, supernatural, supersensitive, supersonic, superstitious, supple, supportive, supposed, suppressive, supreme, sure, surgical, surly, surmountable, surprised, surprising, surrealistic, survivable, susceptible, suspected, suspicious, sustainable, svelte, swaggering, swanky, swaying, sweaty, sweeping, sweet, sweltering, swift, swimming, swinish, swishing, swollen, swooping, syllabic, syllogistic, symbiotic, symbolic, symmetrical, sympathetic, symptomatic, synchronized, synergistic, synonymous, syntactic, synthetic, systematic, taboo, tacit, tacky, tactful, tactical, tactless, tactual, tainted, take, talented, talkative, tall, taller, tallest, tame, tamed, tan, tangential, tangible, tangled, tangy, tanned, tantalizing, tapered, tardy, targeted, tarnished, tart, tasteful, tasteless, tasty, tattered, taunting, taught, tawdry, taxing, teachable, tearful, tearing, teasing, technical, technological, tectonic, tedious, teeming, teenage, teensy, teeny, telegraphic, telekinetic, telepathic, telephonic, telescopic, telling, temperamental, temperate, tempestuous, temporary, tempted, tempting, tenable, tenacious, tender, tender-hearted, tense, tentative, tenth, tenuous, tepid, terminal, terrestrial, terrible, terrific, terrified, terrifying, territorial, terse, tested, testy, tetchy, textual, textural, thankful, thankless, that, they, theatrical, there, thematic, theological, theoretical, therapeutic, thermal, these, thick, thievish, thin, thinkable, third, thirsty, this, thorny, thorough, those, thoughtful, thoughtless, thrashed, threadbare, threatened, threatening, three, thriftless, thrifty, thrilled, thrilling, throbbing, thumping, thundering, thunderous, ticking, tickling, ticklish, tidal, tidy, tight, tight-fisted, time, timeless, timely, timid, timorous, tinted, tiny, tipsy, tired, tireless, tiresome, tiring, tolerable, tolerant, tonal, tone, toneless, toothsome, toothy, top, topical, Topographical. Tormented. Torn. Torpid. Torrential. Torrid. Torturous. Total. Touched. Touching. Touchy. Tough. Towering. Toxic. Traditional. Tragic. Trainable. Trained. Training. Traitorous. Tranquil. Transcendent. Transcendental. Transformational. Transformative. Transformed. Transient. Transitional. Transitory. Translucent. Transparent. Transplanted. Trapped. Trashed. Trashy. Traumatic. Treacherous. Treasonable. Treasonous. Treasured. Treatable. Tremendous. Tremulous. Trenchant. Trendy. Triangular. Tribal. Trick. Tricky. Trifling. Trim. Tripping. Trite. Triumphant. Trivial. Tropical. Troubled. Troublesome. Troubling. Truculent. Trusted. Trustful. Trusting. Trustworthy. Trusty. Truthful. Trying. Tubby. Tumultuous. Tuneful. Tuneless. Turbulent. Twin. Twinkling. Twinkly. Twisted. Twitchy. Twitterpated. Two. Typical. Tyrannical. Tyrannous. Ubiquitous. Ugliest. Ugly. Ultimate. Ultra. Ultra-conservative. Ultra-sensitive. Ultrasonic. Ultraviolet. Unabashed. Unabated. Unable. Unacceptable. Unaccompanied. Unaccountable. Unaccustomed. Unacknowledged. Unadorned. Unadulterated. Unadventurous. Unadvised. Unaffected. Unaffordable. Unafraid. Unaggressive. Unaided. Unalienable. Unalterable. Unaltered. Unambiguous. Unanimous. Unannounced. Unanswerable. Unanticipated. Unapologetic. Unappealing. Unappetizing. Unappreciative. Unapproachable. Unarmed. Unashamed. Unassailable. Unassertive. Unassisted. Unattached. Unattainable. Unattractive. Unauthorized. Unavailable. Unavailing. Unavoidable. Unaware. Unbalanced. Unbearable. Unbeatable. Unbeaten. Unbecoming. Unbelievable. Unbelieving. Unbendable. Unbending. Unbiased. Unblemished. Unblinking. Unblushing. Unbounded. Unbreakable. Unbridled. Uncanny. Uncaring. Unceasing. Unceremonious. Uncertain. Unchangeable. Unchanging. Uncharacteristic. Uncharitable. Uncharted. Uncivil. Uncivilized. unclassified, unclean, uncluttered, uncomely, uncomfortable, uncommitted, uncommon, uncommunicative, uncomplaining, uncomprehending, uncompromising, unconcerned, unconditional, unconfirmed, unconquerable, unconscionable, unconscious, unconstitutional, unconstrained, unconstructive, uncontainable, uncontrollable, unconventional, unconvinced, unconvincing, uncooked, uncooperative, uncoordinated, uncouth, uncovered, uncreative, uncritical, undamaged, undated, undaunted, undeclared, undefeated, undefined, undemocratic, undeniable, undependable, underdeveloped, underfunded, underhanded, underprivileged, understandable, understanding, understated, understood, undeserved, undesirable, undetected, undeterred, undeveloped, undeviating, undifferentiated, undignified, undiminished, undiplomatic, undisciplined, undiscovered, undisguised, undisputed, undistinguished, undivided, undoubted, unearthly, uneasy, uneducated, unemotional, unemployed, unencumbered, unending, unendurable, unenforceable, unenthusiastic, unenviable, unequal, unequaled, unequivocal, unerring, uneven, uneventful, unexceptional, unexcited, unexpected, unexplainable, unexplored, unexpressive, unfailing, unfair, unfaithful, unfaltering, unfamiliar, unfashionable, unfathomable, unfavorable, unfeeling, unfettered, unfilled, unfinished, unfit, unflagging, unflappable, unflattering, unflinching, unfocused, unfolded, unforeseeable, unforgettable, unforgivable, unforgiving, unfortunate, unfriendly, unfulfilled, ungallant, ungenerous, ungentlemanly, unglamorous, ungraceful, ungracious, ungrateful, unguarded, unhandsome, unhappy, unharmed, unhealthy, unheeded, unheated, unhelpful, unhesitating, unhurried, uniform, unilateral, unimaginable, unimaginative, unimpeachable, unimpeded, unimportant, unimpressive, unincorporated, uninformed, uninhabitable, uninhibited, uninitiated, uninjured, uninspired, uninsurable, unintelligent, unintelligible, unintended, unintentional, uninterested, uninterrupted, uninvited, unique, united, universal, unjust, unjustifiable, unkempt, unkind, unknowing, unknown, unlawful, unlicensed, unlikable, unlikely, unlined, unlivable, unloved, unlucky, unmanageable, unmanly, unmanned, unmarketable, unmasked, unmatched, unmemorable, unmentionable, unmerciful, unmistakable, unmitigated, unmodified, unmotivated, unnatural, unnecessary, unnerved, unnerving, unnoticeable, unobserved, unobtainable, unobtrusive, unofficial, unopened, unopposed, unorthodox, unostentatious, unpalatable, unpardonable, unpersuasive, unperturbed, unplanned, unpleasant, unprecedented, unpredictable, unpretentious, unprincipled, unproductive, unprofessional, unprofitable, unpromising, unpronounceable, unprovoked, unqualified, unquantifiable, unquenchable, unquestionable, unquestioned, unquestioning, unraveled, unreachable, unreadable, unrealistic, unrealized, unreasonable, unreceptive, unrecognizable, unrecognized, unredeemable, unregulated, unrelenting, unreliable, unremarkable, unremitting, unrepentant, unrepresentative, unrepresented, unreserved, unrespectable, unresponsive, unrestrained, unripe, unrivaled, unromantic, unruffled, unruly, unsafe, unsalvageable, unsatisfactory, unsatisfied, unscheduled, unscholarly, unscientific, unscrupulous, unseasonable, unseemly, unselfish, unsettled, unsettling, unshakable, unshapely, unsightly, unsigned, unsinkable, unskilled, unsociable, unsolicited, unsolvable, unsolved, unsophisticated, unsound, unsparing, unspeakable, unspoiled, unstable, unstated, unsteady, unstoppable, unstressed, unstructured, unsubstantial, unsubstantiated, unsuccessful, unsuitable, unsuited, unsung, unsupervised, unsupported, unsure, unsurpassable, unsurpassed, unsurprising, unsuspected, unsuspecting, unsustainable, unsympathetic, unsystematic, untainted, untamable, untamed, untapped, untenable, untested, unthinkable, unthinking, untidy, untimely, untitled, untouchable, untouched, untraditional, untrained, untried, untroubled, untrustworthy, untruthful, untutored, unused, unusual, unverified, unwary, unwashed, unwatchable, unwavering, unwelcome, unwholesome, unwieldy, unwilling, unwise, unwitting, unworkable, unworldly, unworthy, unwritten, unyielding, upbeat, upmost, upper, uppity, upright, uproarious, upset, upsetting, upstairs, uptight, upward, urban, urbane, urgent, usable, used, useful, useless, usual, utilitarian, utopian, utter, uttermost, vacant, vacillating, vacuous, vagabond, vagrant, vague, vain, valiant, valid, valorous, valuable, vanishing, vapid, vaporous, variable, varied, various, varying, vast, vegetable, vegetarian, vegetative, vehement, velvety, venal, venerable, venerated, vengeful, venomous, venturesome, venturous, voracious, verbal, verbose, verdant, verifiable, verified, veritable, vernacular, versatile, versed, vertical, very, vexed, vexing, viable, vibrant, vibrating, vicarious, vicious, victorious, vigilant, vigorous, vile, villainous, vindictive, vinegary, violent, violet, viperous, viral, virtual, virtuous, virulent, visceral, viscous, visible, visionary, visual, vital, vitriolic, vivacious, vivid, vocal, vocational, voiceless, volatile, volcanic, voluminous, voluntary, voluptuous, voracious, vulgar, vulnerable, wacky, waggish, wailing, waiting, wakeful, wandering, wanting, wanton, war, warlike, warm, warmest, warning, warring, wary, waspish, waste, wasted, wasteful, watchful, waterlogged, waterproof, watertight, watery, wavering, wavy, wax, waxen, weak, weekend, wealthy, wearisome, weary, weedy, weak, weekly, weepy, weightless, weighty, weird, welcome, welcoming, well, west, western, wet, what, wheezing, which, whimpering, whimsical, whining, whirlwind, whispering, whistling, white, whole, wholehearted, wholesale, wholesome, whooping, whopping, whose, wicked, wide, wide, widespread, wiggly, wild, willful, willing, wily, windy, winged, winning, winsome, winter, wintry, wiry, wise, wishful, wispy, wistful, withered, withering, witless, witty, wizardly, wobbly, woebegone, woeful, wolfish, womanly, wonderful, wondrous, wanted, wood, wooden, wooing, wool, woolen, woozy, wordless, wordy, work, workable, working, worldly, worn, worn down, worn out, worried, worrisome, worrying, worse, worshipful, worst, worth, worthless, worthwhile, worthy, wounded, wounding, wrathful, wrenching, wretched, wriggling, wriggly, wrinkled, wrinkly, writhing, written, wrong, wrongful, wry, yawning, yearly, yearning, yelling, yellow, yelping, yeomanly, yielding, young, younger, youngest, youthful, yummy, zoftig, zany, zany, zappy, zealful, zealous, zealous, zebraic, zen, zenithal, zestful, zestful, zesty, zesty, zigzag, zigzag, zillion, zinc, zingy, zipless, zippy, zodiacal, zoetic, zombie-like, zonal, zonked, zoological, zoology, zooming, zoophagus, zygal,